Welcome back to Blockchain Pill. My name is Alex, and today we're going to do a podcast with the newest decentralized exchange on the internet computer, and of course, that is Kongswap. Now, the word in the street is that we finally have a quick DEX on ICP with speeds that rival those on Solana and Ethereum. So no more waiting, 10 seconds, 15 seconds, even up to 1 minute for swaps. DeFi can finally start now with the help of Kongswap. And I have two core contributors of Kongswap with me today here in the call, and those are Aaron, who's doing marketing for Kongswap, and Gorazd, who's one of the core developer contributors to the Kongswap DAO. So guys, welcome to the show. It's a pleasure to have you guys on.
Thanks for having
us on.
Let's tell our community who you guys are. So tell us more about who you are and what you've been working on before Kongswap. And Aaron, let's start with you.
Yeah, so I first kind of got into the crypto space kind of hard in 2021. I started posting on TikTok at the beginning of 2021. Did pretty good on TikTok in 2021, and then worked in Near Protocol. Started working professionally in the blockchain space in early 2022 in Near Protocol. Worked in Near for basically all of 2022, but at the end of it, I jumped into ICP, worked for Definity for a little bit, and then I ran an incubator with a couple other influencers, and now I'm a core contributor to Kongswap. So yeah.
Yeah, cool, nice. And you've been very present in the ICP ecosystem. I met you multiple times in various cities around the world. It's always a pleasure to have you on the show. And likewise with Gorazd, I met you for the first time a couple of weeks ago in Zurich, and now to have you here on the show, it's a pleasure. So tell our viewers who you are and what you did prior to Kongswap.
Yeah, sure. So prior to Kongswap, I used to work on Helix Markets. So Helix Markets is also a hybrid exchange built on the internet computer. So hybrid meaning we have, the exchange has an off-chain order book and on-chain settlement using ICP to do native multi-chain transactions. Prior to Helix, I also used to work on an Ethereum project. So it was about tokenized asset management. And prior to that, I worked for a crypto bank. That was also where I got my kind of feet wet into Definity and the ICP ecosystem.
Yeah, cool. And today we have here the two of you. Are there any other core contributors? Can you guys give us an idea of the entire team behind Kongswap?
So one of the other core contributors is John Lee. And then Shill Gates, you guys probably know him. He's a core contributor. Then Glad as well is a core contributor. And then recently we just brought on Ty Crypto, who's our one of our new core contributors for the marketing side. And then we have that's basically the kind of the core team right there. So yeah.
Yeah, so I want to give people a little bit of context for why we don't call people team members or the core team and everybody's called a contributor. Is because I think a couple of months ago, or 1.5 months ago, Kongswap was decentralized via the ICP SNS tool and is now considered a DAO. It functions as a DAO structure. So there is no leader and everybody is contributing to the Kongswap DAO, right?
Yeah, I mean, we do have also people, that contribute with the designs or some community management, very different roles, but, they all take part. Just we're basically without hierarchy. It's all flat, so everybody has the same say in what we do.
Mm-hmm. Nice, cool. And this is a thing that we've seen on ICP happening. So I'm super excited that finally DeFi on ICP is starting to pick up, and we've seen a few tokens do really, really well. I'm talking about 50x's or close to 100x's, and those things began to happen recently. Maybe it's a coincidence that DeFi has picked up since Kongswap has appeared. So how is Kongswap different than the other DEXes that we have on the Internet Computer Protocol? What sets it apart?
I think the main thing is basically it's architectured completely differently than any other DEX on the IC. So we went with a novel approach. So I think up until now it was like this kind of microservice architecture on the IC. So where you just kind of have a lot of canisters that spin up, basically an exchange within a canister every time. But we found this one feature of the IC chain, which is really cool, that enables you to program in stable memory. And that enabled us basically that we could put the whole DEX and all the complexities of it into a single canister. So basically Kongswap is built out of two canisters, the sort of the backend canister that holds the exchange logic, that manages all the user interactions, basically all the trading. And then we also have the front end canister, which is kind of running the Kong front end. But, we went with a completely kind of against the grain approach where, we saw that the performance of the IC is powerful enough that one canister can run the entire DEX. And that enables us to be extremely fast because we don't do all the inter-canister calls. So all the calls that users make are directly to our canister, and then our canister sends a reply. So whenever you swap, you basically send kind of a request, and then the reply is basically the swap itself. So that enables us to do swaps basically sometimes even under 2 seconds or 1 second.
Yeah, and this is one thing that I said in the intro, that we finally have a DEX on ICP that runs with speeds comparable to those on Solana and Ethereum, which is super good to have. So it's really good that you guys found a way to circumvent this problem that we had for the longest time here, and it looks like Kongswap is taking market share from the other DEXes. So when we talk about DEXes, there is millions of dollars involved in liquidity and in assets that are usually hosted on the DEX itself. So I'm curious, how does Kongswap ensure the security and integrity of transactions and the funds that are on its platform?
The first and most obvious way is basically because we are a DAO. The only way to upgrade a canister is via voting. So nobody has sort of the keys to Kongswap. The other way was, so we basically designed Kongswap so that the canister only holds the LPs, but any user interactions, we never hold user funds on Kongswap. So anytime you transact with Kong is always from your wallet to Kong, and then Kong sends you back from the LP the asset that you traded against. So you're never actually depositing or leaving funds on our canister. The funds will always get back to the user. So for the user, it's always 100% non-custodial, 100% in your wallet. The only funds that are held on the Kong canister itself are the LP funds.
Aaron, I know that you are, more into meme tokens and, into that part of DeFi. So I wanted to get your opinion on why do you think meme tokens have been such a huge phenomenon, leading this bull run this far? And why do you think they took off so much? And where do you see them in the future?
Yeah, for sure. So for some background, because I feel like I feel like I was, kind of right on this and I was ahead of the curve. My first job in crypto was actually working for a meme token and Near protocol that would end up doing 100x like a year ago. And I think it's sitting at a couple $1 million market cap right now anyway. So I've been in it. I was in the meme coin trenches, way before it became, a huge phenomenon, etc. But I think the real reason why, meme coins have exploded is because now, there's a lot of, I don't think saying its utility really completely matters anymore. Of course, a token having utility can, be a reason why people want to buy it, etc. But there's a lot of vaporware products in crypto that don't actually have any real users, and then they slap a token on it and they say, well, we have utility, but the market kind of realize it's bullshit and that they can get around these more fun coins that have a stronger community. And, it's kind of a weird thing. If you've, ever been out and just talking to people outside of crypto, they always love the dog coins, they like the coins with personality. So I'd really say, A, it's a big, people love the communities around them and they like that they're fun. And I think B, it's really a checkmate on, just vaporware products that don't actually have any real product market fit. So it's kind of a mix of a couple things, but yeah, there's two big things.
So right now, DeFi is basically, trading meme tokens, projects like PumFun that are meme factories, maybe some lending. What do you guys think is going to be the role that DeFi is going to play in the broader financial ecosystem in the future. What is DeFi? How is DeFi going to change the financial markets?
I'm going to give my answer. That's going to be more like fun-based, and I think Gorazd can give a more serious answer. So I'm going to kind of talk about the degen side of things, and I think Gorazd can talk about the more serious side of DeFi. I think one of the biggest, things that, shocked crypto was pump fund. It absolutely revolutionized the space. Love it or hate it, it changed the game completely. Probably the most dominant product of the cycle. You can't, every chain now needs a pump fund, and there's thousands of tokens created, and it's one of the most profitable products in crypto. And I think what you're going to see with DeFi, and I think most people probably saw this, the kid, going viral for flicking off the camera and the whole thing that went on. But really what I thought of is the fact that, in the future, you could be, if you think about games and stuff, you think about pump fund, it's really just kind of gamified making money. At the end of the day, a 15-year-old kid or a 14-year-old or even, a 12-year-old, whether it's controversial or not, could take $1 or take 50 cents and go on pump fund and try to make some money. So I think there's kind of, DeFi is kind of gamified, and where it's going to see a lot of mass adoption just in, a gamified way of making money aspect. I think that's one of the things that's the thing. Whether you love or hate pump fund, or you hate the shit coins and, everything that's going on DeFi, it's what the market actually wants, and it's what the market's responding to. And, I didn't see that last cycle of DeFi products going viral. I mean, everybody is talking about, even, I was just at talking to my friends from my hometown. They're into crypto, but not like this, not like us. A lot of people watching this are probably a lot more into crypto than them, but they know about pump fund. They know about all that stuff that's going on. So I think we're going to see some adoption in that kind of aspect. And then, of course, there's going to be a lot more things that are going on in the, financial institutions, et cetera, which I think Gorazd could probably talk about.
The other part of crypto was always, how to exchange value between people for products and services. And I think, we really came a long way. So a couple of years ago, it was always, you had to pay everybody in fiat rails, which made the whole industry very difficult. But now I think it's switched. So 95% of, anything you do in crypto, you can already pay with crypto. So that makes it a lot easier, a lot less hassle. So now, you can see kind of the TradFi is becoming sort of extinct compared to the crypto world, because, if you need to pay somebody, you can pay him in a matter of, minutes. You don't have to wait for banking hours or settlement times, wait a couple of days to get stuff done. So I think that part is already here. I think from the trading perspective, we're kind of advancing a lot. So you see a lot of the perpetuals platforms that have taken off like crazy. So here, Hyperliquid is a great example of, an awesome platform. So before it was Bitfinex, but it's just like kind of the leverage aspect, I think, is still very important. So people like to trade with a lot of leverage. And obviously, like you mentioned, borrowing and lending is also one of the pillars. And I think in the future, we'll see a lot of new derivative products, which give users more of a ability to manage downside risk as well. So now everybody's just on the, how do I make my next 10x, 100x, 50x, so it's all like upside. But, whenever we crash, you see a couple of billions or tens of billions being wiped from the market, and everybody goes down like 10 to 20%. I think, with more mature instruments coming to the market, people will also protect against downside risk much better than they do at the moment.
So let's have a look at Kongswap here. Unfortunately I cannot share my screen, but if we all open it on our laptops, we can all see the same thing. So I see here the interface, and I can connect with 3 different wallets, and the options are NFID, Internet Identity, and Plug Wallet. And for the people who are joining the ICP ecosystem for the first time and they don't know what to use here, what's the difference? Can you briefly explain each of the choices here?
Sure. Like technically, they all perform a similar function. So basically, they all enable you to interact with a Web3 space. I would say the main differences between the 3 are so NFID and the Internet Identity sort of have a similar background. They're both web-based wallets. The difference being that the NFID wallet is a more pure wallet. So it's kind of main purpose is basically just to hold assets and interact with dApps. You can also, a really cool feature is that they have Google Auth. So if you like to go the Google path, right, you can simply select your Google account and then connect with your Google account to NFID and then connect with Kong. So that's like, for, I would say, more the early stage near users, it's the easiest way to interact.
For the boomers, boomers can connect with Gmail.
Yeah, exactly. Then II is more of a sophisticated wallet. I think the primary use case is not actually to be a wallet. It's to facilitate voting, and then governance on the internet computer, but it also has the wallet functionality. I think just interactions with II are a bit more advanced, so it might have a bit more complexity if you're a newer user. And Plug is more of a kind of traditional wallet that you know from other ecosystems. So it's a browser plugin wallet that also has a mobile app. So if you're kind of well versed in things like MetaMask, so then probably Plug is the wallet for you. You can also import and export your private key, use it on your mobile device. So it's kind of for the more I would say native crypto user that's used to a browser plugin wallet, then I think Plug is the right choice for you.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much. Because I'm actually recording a video about those wallets, and your explanation is way better than anything I could have come up with. So I already have an internet identity created for this exact thing, so I'm gonna use that right now, and I loaded it with some CK USDT. I just want to perform a swap just to show people just how fast it actually happens. So I have some CK USDT. I will change it to CK USDC. CK USDC, if that works, just to show people. So 103, let's do 100. And I'll do the swap, confirm swap. And there we go. It's almost instant. So it took 2 seconds to do it. And just like that, I managed to do the swap. It's incredibly fast. And you guys have a lot of, the meme tokens and a lot of the projects native to the Internet Computer Protocol already on your exchange. What else can people do here? I see there are a few more tabs. We have stats and we have earn. So on the stats, we can see liquidity for various projects here. We have the big ones: Origin, OpenChat, GoldDAO, Decide AI, Water Neuron, Dragon. So all the main ones are here. And on Earn, people can add liquidity to earn API when people do trades, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we just wanted to design our interface as simplistic as possible. So one of our main goals always has been, besides building a super fast exchange, is to build it in a way that 99% of the people can use it. We always like to say, my grandma would log on and she would know what to do. So that's always our objective, to get grandmas through the exchange in a way that it wouldn't scare them away.
Yeah,
So we like to keep things simple. We like to keep things easy. So like you said, stats is basically just to see what's going on. Earn is like if you want to provide liquidity. We also have some more features coming in the future with Earn. So we want to also do borrowing and lending markets, offer staking. We'll probably have some gamification features down the line as well. But yeah, the Earn is going to be like where you can kind of put your cryptos to work a little bit more than just trade them.
Okay. And so I see here borrowing and lending, which is coming soon. Can you tell us a little bit, give us a little insight into that?
Yeah, we see that on the IC, there's, sort of, we have the swapping now, but we're still kind of ways behind in terms of other DeFi primitives that are available. And I think, now we have liquid staking, and I think natural evolution of DeFi is that you have a lending and borrowing protocols. Those protocols can then underpin a lot of the things that we can build on top. So besides just swapping and borrowing and lending, then you can have, very easy integration into margin trading, and a host of different products that you can build off of that liquidity. And you can also leverage the liquidity from lending markets to earn additional yield on the LP swapping. So it can increase the liquidity of the Kong LPs. So there's a lot of like synergies that we can take advantage of through borrowing and lending.
Yeah, and we should be going at this with full steam ahead, because listen, the bull run is here. We need some serious DeFi on ICP for everything to start pumping and everything to go crazy. And right now we have 3 pump fund like platforms on ICP. There are FOMOWell, Pump, and Bob.fun. And Pump, whenever a token is launched, the liquidity is sent to Kongswap, and that is liquidity that is going to remain on Kongswap like forever, the locked liquidity.
Yeah, I can talk about it a little bit. So it's similar. It's basically Pump is pump fund on ICP, and once the bonding curve is met on Pump, the pool transfers from Pump to Kongswap, and also FOMOWell will be integrating in the Kongswap soon too. And yeah,
what are some ways that you guys think what can we do, or what are you planning to do to kickstart DeFi on ICP and get real people and a lot of people into our ecosystem to come here and spend their money and buy the tokens? What are your plans?
Yeah, so I think one of the big things that we're gonna have in the future is chain fusion. So we plan to work with and partner with some protocols outside of ICP. So that's one thing, but also we're gonna be recently Thai Crypto came on. And he's one of the biggest influencers on TikTok. All of crypto TikTok, he's one of the biggest. He has extreme pull. We haven't really had him start like hardcore marketing yet on TikTok, etc. But he's going to be a huge help. And I have a vast KOL network, etc. And he has a network that's really even bigger than mine when it comes to the influencers. So we have some. I'm talking to Ty on the phone the other day. We have some really big names that we could, potentially bring on the Kongswap in the future. Of course, once it gets bigger, we're at a bigger market cap, etc. But yeah, I think at the end of the day, it's extremely competitive in blockchain. We're not just, it's ICP, versus Solana, versus Sui, versus Near, versus Aptos. There's a million different blockchains. And I think having big names and stuff talking about Kongswap is actually, we're going to see that pay dividends in 2025, because ultimately, people, they don't really give a shit which blockchain it's on. They just want a nice platform to, trade on. And, if they're able to come on Kong, have a nice experience, trade tokens quickly, maybe do some other things that they want. And, they have big names talking about it, trusted names that, they follow, whatever. I think we're going to be able to get some users in 2025. So.
Yeah, so people just need to figure out that there are gains to be made on the Internet Computer Protocol, like we've seen with a few tokens the past couple of months. So we've seen even Kong, like since the SNS, it had a massive growth. It's one of the few projects that launched via the SNS who's positive on the price. And listen, DeFi is starting on the Internet Computer Protocol, and people are going to find out that tokens here are extremely undervalued. We're going to have people that know the meme token game come here, buy them, pump them up, and then sell them to us. And that is something that I personally don't want happening. So we should be paying more attention at memes and at the DeFi ecosystem on ICP. I think discussions like this are what, and of course, listen, the work behind the DEXes and making sure that we have safe swaps and fast swaps, those are the things that are going to move the needle forward. So I encourage everybody to play this game and to do what they can. Is there something that we didn't cover that you guys want to cover?
One of the narratives we're kind of pushing at Kongswap is that Kongswap is the pancake swap of this cycle. So everyone who was in crypto last cycle, the main chain, basically the Solana equivalent of last cycle, was, Ethereum Uniswap. That was the chain everyone was trading on. And then Pancake Swap, of course, it's on Binance Smart Chain, which is Binance's blockchain, came out of nowhere. And Cake, the native token of Pancake Swap, went really hot. And Pancake Swap was able to completely take off out of nowhere. It was like, boom, Cake did super well. And everyone started trading on Binance Smart Chain. I think, there's a possibility we could see that on ICP as well, where once again, as long as the platform's clean and usable, people don't care what chain it's on, as long as they're, able to make gains and have a good experience. So what we're going to try and do is, get Kongswap in that conversation of, hey, we're having a fun time trading on this chain, and, it has a good culture, whatever. So yeah.
2021 Binance Smart Chain was the place to be. Like anything you would buy. So I remember buying random shit from CoinGecko. I remember buying a Ditto. It was like a Pokemon, and I think it launched on Pancake Swap or something. But I bought it randomly at like 12 midday. In 6 hours, it went up 6x, like 6 times. From $1,000, I made $6,000, and I was thinking, what am I gonna do with $6,000, right? Like the gains were incredible. I didn't sell it. It went down immediately. But the thing is, things are gonna go super crazy. People are gonna follow the gains, and if we manage to get more tokens, to pump like 10x, 20x, 100x, I think a lot of people are gonna pay attention to, start paying more attention to ICP. I think we have everything we need. If you guys wanna say something to the community before we end this podcast, you're welcome to do it.
One last thing is make sure to follow Kongswap on X at Kongswap. Go follow Kongswap on X. And join our Telegram as well, or open chat to get involved with the community, or if you have questions or feedback or whatever. That's all I got.
Guys, thank you very much for tuning in. It's been a pleasure. Gorazd and Aaron, as always. And I'll see you guys inside the ICP community. Thank you very much for tuning in here.
Thanks for hosting, Alex.